I think we can all agree the worst thing in Dragons Dogma 2 is that moment where you run out of stamina and all the fun stops. Well, what if I told you we can make all that go away? Oh yes, my fellow Arisen, let's talk stamina. And by talk stamina, I mean let's eliminate it. Eliminate it from being a concern you ever need think about again. You want to spam your abilities, your heart's content, you want to sprint everywhere and never stop. This is how. Now, obviously, we're not going to end up with literally infinite, but we are going to end up with more than you could really ever actually need, and it's quite good. Well, a lot more than quite good. You're seeing in this current example just what a difference what we're about to do makes. The left side is just standard, and you can run for 27 seconds. The right side is after everything we're going to talk about, and you can run for 40 seconds. 13 seconds more. That is big, and we can push it further than that too. And indeed, if we just have a little look at some general fighting, combat, and all of that good stuff, I'm just not running out of stamina. Even though we're having back-to-back big boy fights over and over, it's just always there in plentiful supply. Because what we're about to solve is having massive amounts of total stamina, making so everything you do costs less stamina, and making it so your stamina regens faster as well, because there's some really potent synergies and items you can use to, well, again, conquer your stamina. And in a game like Dragons Dogma 2, where having, well, more stamina than you know what to do with is akin to having unlimited power, well, this is really something worth your while. So let's get into it then. By default then, you have 1,000 stamina. That is kind of your just generic amount before any changes get applied to it, and then every skill in the game costs a chunk of stamina. So for example, if I get my weapons out and do a skull splitter, and then have a little bit of a cheeky look, that's cost 200 stamina. So as it currently stands, we could do 5 of them. Whereas if the stamina said, I don't know, 1450, like it can, you could do 7 of them, which is an appreciable increase, 2 extra big boy skills before running out, buying more time for regen in between, which then extends it even further. So with that in mind then, how do we actually achieve that? Well, 2 ways: augments and gear. We will start with gear, but I just want to put in a little bit of context here. The rate at which your stamina regenerates naturally is roughly 100 a second. It'll take about 10 seconds to go from completely drained empty to back full and topped up once you completely run yourself dry. So that's sort of the base of expectations. So if we look at our rings then, you can get this, the Ring of Quickening, and indeed rings are the only category of gear that can affect and help your stamina. What this Ring of Quickening will do is simply give you an extra 10 stamina per second recovery, which adds up over time. If we look at roughly 100 per second naturally, this basically represents 10% increase, which is really chunky, and over the course of, well, your gameplay experience, that's going to make an impact, but it also stacks with something we'll be talking about in a moment. The other way your rings can help is by just giving you more total stamina to begin with, such as this, the Ring of Momentum. This gives you an extra 150 stamina, which is obviously a lot. That is an extra 15% total stamina on top of the base bar, but it stacks. If you equipped 2 Ring of Momentums, that's an extra 300 stamina. So when you get something like the Ring of Triumph from Seeker's Tokens, that's 100 stamina as well as weight, which arguably might be better, because one of the biggest things that you can do to have better stamina efficiency is lower your weight. I'm currently sat at average, but if I got that all the way down to light or very light, it's going to massively improve things. That's also something that will come up later. But for now, generally speaking, you want to have equipped 2 of either the Ring of Triumph, the Ring of Quickening, or the Ring of Momentum. So if I actually put this on and then also get myself the Ring of Quickening, we now have 150 more max stamina and it regens quicker. As we can see, we're now up to 1160 from the initial 1110, and we're going to power up a lot speedier too, even with the extra total stamina, so it should take longer to regen, but it doesn't thanks to the Ring of Quickening. So, in order to get these 2 rings, well, you have to do the following. The Ring of Quickening is simply bought from the volcano camp in the volcanic region, bottom right on the map, from the vendor that is there that sells all your weapons and armors, and essentially everything else. The Volcanic Island Armory, all easy and done. The other one, the Ring of Momentum, is a little bit more complex. Technically, it's a rare drop from Cyclops, but if you want to get a guaranteed one, you need to go to the Thunderclap Cave, which is located over in the left of Batal. It is roughly here, Thunderclap Cave, and you don't want to enter from this end, as it's a lot more difficult to navigate. You want to come over from here in the checkpoint rest town. You can drop down on to the shore near this river, and then just slowly make your way up through here, and eventually you'll just follow the road, get all the way down here, start descending the slope, and then you'll get to this campsite. Just next to it is a fancy chest, and in that chest you will get your Ring of Momentum. So with those 2 on, as you can see, we really do have a lot of stamina extra to work with, but it is by far the least impactful thing of what we're going to talk about today. So let us carry on. Here we are at the guild for our vocations. So the other half of this stamina recipe is going to come from augments. I'm currently in Warfarer, but obviously you can put any augment on any vocation, and we care specifically about 5 of them. You put these 5 augments on and you are going to absolutely fly stamina-wise. They can be a little bit annoying to get though, so let's go through it. And it should be said, you might be there thinking, really? 5 augments all dedicated to stamina? The thing is, Dragons Dogma 2 is easy. Anticlimactically easy, that's a topic for a whole other time. You really don't need damage from your augments. You want utility, and there is no greater utility than stamina supply because it powers everything. So, we want Zeal. From Warfarer, you get this at rank 6. What this will do is make every weapon skill cost 5% less stamina. And you might think that's not that much, but if you're a sorcerer, for example, you can cast something that costs 500 stamina, and if you only have the base 1000, you can do that twice. Whereas with this on, suddenly it's only costing 475, and you can comfortably cast it 3 times before going exhausted, which is a whole extra 33% output possibility, and so on and such forth, and it really adds up over time on top of everything else we're about to add, such as endurance. This is from your good old archer at rank 4, and what this will do is essentially be that ring again. This is an extra 150 maximum stamina, so it's why you could wear 2 rings of momentums and endurance and get 1450 total stamina to work with. Following that then, we have Exaltation from Mage at rank 9. What this will do is increase your stamina regen, and it will increase it by 10%. And the cool thing about this is it obviously stacks with the ring. If base stamina regen is 100 a second, now 110 thanks to the ring, with an extra 10% going on there, we're now up to 121. So it really starts to get the ball rolling. Then we come over to the final one that at least I have unlocked, which is athleticism, less stamina from sprinting. This is from rank 9 on your Mystic Spearhand, and it will cost you 10% less stamina to sprint. So that bar of now 1300 stamina goes 10% further, and as you've seen, that really is felt. Lastly then, we have another one. This one I don't quite have yet, but I can simulate its effects, so I'm, comfortable talking about it. That is the other Warfarer one you get at rank 9. This is dynamism, and it reduces the amount by which weight affects your movement speed. So what we can do is put this on, and it treats your weight as one tier lower than it is. So I would put that on one of my leftover slots. I would probably just get rid of more magic, because again, I don't need damage from augments. Damage is so easy to come by from just the base vocations and certain skills. And now, when I am light, which is what you really should be, that would make it so you are essentially very light instead. I am currently here very light to simulate that happening. Normally I would just sit at light with this on, but you would be having all of this stamina help while very light. And if I run while very light, you can see how much faster the actual run animation is, because yeah, it is just faster. So not only do you have more stamina being consumed less, you are now flying along at the most efficient speed you can be during it. So it is this combination that gets the job done. You have yourself 2 rings that help stamina, more stamina regen, and more maximum stamina. You can have it in any combination that you want, on top of the augments that really help out zeal, endurance, exaltation, athleticism, and then the final Warfarer one. This all comes together to just give you a serious boost to your stamina that all individually don't feel huge, but collectively really work, and I cannot recommend it enough. Just being able to spam Skull Splitter and just seeing it cost such little stamina over and over and over again, I mean, it really is a joy. And now I have both the ring and exaltation on from mage. Look how fast my stamina actually goes back up. It is powering. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate recipe for stamina. Augments, rings, and weight in perfect harmony to give you the least annoyance from managing pesky stamina as possible. I know it's perhaps not, insane to look at, but I guarantee you if you make it happen, you will feel it. I was so impressed with the results when I actually started playing with all of this together. For now then, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Let us know anything else you would like us to explore in this wonderful world of Dragons Dogma 2. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.